All right, Justin, so the Xbox One sold 1 million in its first day. The PlayStation 4 sells 1 million in its first day. And here you are writing articles telling us the numbers don't matter. Explain yourself.
You know, people have been throwing these numbers around. It's been like a war of numbers recently. The PS4 sold 1 million in 24 hours, and the Xbox One came out and they said, oh, well, you also sold 1 million in 24 hours. But the PS4 only launched in 2 countries, or in North America, whereas the Xbox One launched in 13 countries. And like really, we're just going back and forth in something that right now it just doesn't matter. These numbers really don't mean anything. Right now, the PS4 has sold over 2 million copies. Soon we're going to hear the exact same thing from Microsoft about the Xbox One. Really, the only thing that's keeping these numbers down is the fact that there aren't that many consoles out there. If there were more consoles, it would meet demand immediately. But like these are still really low numbers. We're still so early into it. It just doesn't matter right now. But it's something that it's fun to watch. It's fun for people to argue about. But ultimately, we're not really going to know how well either of these consoles are doing for like another 4, 5 months maybe. Because like look at the Wii U. The Wii U actually started out really well. I mean, the first week it only sold like 600,000. In the first month it sold 3 million. And recently,
it's fallen off. It's just crawled over 4 million only maybe possibly last month.
Yeah.
So is this an issue with spin? Is it companies taking numbers and kind of just manufacturing for their own needs? Is it more of an issue with really they're just meeting demand? They're meeting demand by the amount of consoles that they can create at any one time. I
mean, it's amazing that they've been able to meet demand in a way that we never have before. Like the PS2 was one of the most popular consoles of all time, but it only sold. I mean, you could say it only sold 600,000 copies in its first week. But
it's sold out.
It's sold out, exactly. They're making more consoles available than they ever have before. It's not spin. I mean, these are actual numbers, but it doesn't actually mean anything as to how successful that console is. It's going to take a long time. You're going to have to be able to walk into a store and have a row of consoles before you, and then that's when we'll know like how well they're doing. But until that happens, it's like selling a whole bunch just doesn't matter.
So are you saying at this stage people want to know whether the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 is possibly leading in terms of like charts, in terms of like how people are excited about it and whatnot? If numbers at this stage are so relevant, when do you think that they become relevant? Are we talking 6 months down the line? Are we talking 12, like 18 months down the line?
I mean, at the end of the year, it's going to be really big. Like, those are going to be really important numbers. But I guess it really comes down to how quickly are they going to have enough in stock that you can walk into a store and there are enough there. Whether that's 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, it really comes down to how many are they going to be making every month. Like for the Wii, when the Wii came out, super successful for a really long time. They were making almost 2 million consoles every month, and it was selling out for almost an entire year. And like, so we didn't even really know how successful, like how long is that tail going to last until like actually pretty recently, until later this year when they stopped making Wii U's, when the whole thing just kind of fizzled and died out. And I don't think it's going to take that long for the PS4 or the Xbox One, obviously. I think we're going to know a lot sooner than that, but probably won't come till March. I think then we'll have a pretty good idea of which one is doing really well and which one is just doing pretty well.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, neither of them are doing badly. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like the numbers are completely irrelevant. The PS4 is going to be probably doing better than the Xbox One. It comes at a $100 cheaper price. It doesn't have that Kinect camera saddled onto it. And we've actually done a lot of research, a lot of surveys about what people are most excited about. And when people are looking into what am I most excited about, what am I anticipating purchasing, most people have said the PS4 over the Xbox One. That might change with some exclusive titles that are coming about. E3 is going to be a really big time for that.
People change. People who bought one console might want to get a second one in 6 months' time as well.
And is Titanfall going to change that at all? Is that going to make people more excited for the 360 or the P? Is that going to make people more excited for the Xbox One over the PS4? I really don't know how those exclusives are going to pan out. But right now, the PS4 is edging out the Xbox One a little bit.
Well, lots of ifs, buts, and maybes, and lots of numbers as well. So for continuing coverage of all of the consoles, Xbox One, PS4, and how they're doing, stay tuned to GameSpot.com.